scene to change. Crazy show tonight. It's Friday night. We made it to another Friday. Welcome in. You're here at the Above Ground World News Studios in FEMA Region 7. Now, we're not going to have any kind of hurricanes at all in the Atlantic, or at least the East Coast, because of this Sahara dust and the crazy upper level wind patterns that have been going on for months. This dust is just blowing apart every single storm. The weather modification companies are going crazy, man. They cannot induce a hurricane. I keep seeing the mainstream and alternative YouTubers out here talking about tropical storm development, blah blah blah, and it's just dissipating every time. But we've been right every single time. We've been right for weeks. Florida's flooding out from all the rain, right on scheduled time. Just like Missouri, we get rain every Wednesday. You know, if you notice, you get rain the same day every week. It's because it's all scheduled. Now let me get into this. This is crazy. Now, we've been covering these fires in Brazil. Now, I got this thing back on July 25th, 2019. And the mainstream is hyping this thing up, you know, days late, almost a month late. But what they fail to report is, look at the fires over here. Which fires look worse, the ones in Brazil or the ones over here? Huh. Isn't that crazy? So they're hyping this up, but they're not hyping this up. What's the deal? It's fear porn. It's the mainstream fear porn. Look at that. Huh. Anyway, we'll get into that a little deeper. Some other crazy event. We have this crazy super hot spot, you know, microwave or laser-based weapon out here beaming out here by the equator. And guess what today? It's going away. It took 9 days for that hot spot to form. And look, it's like getting blown apart the opposite way of the winds. It's getting blown apart. You can see it's getting blown apart. But the strange thing is it's being blown the opposite way of all the winds. We can check the anomalies even starting to go back. Let's go back to yesterday. Look at that. So we got some kind of, this thing may be coming out of the eyes cat. They may be shooting out some super high frequencies over here. Or they're just, you know, right here off of Peru. Or the Arecibo up here. Or the Hart facility. I mean, they don't even need Hart no more. But yeah, pretty crazy. Our anomaly is starting to dissipate. Insane stuff. Let's get into some headlines and we'll get back into all the weather. So they found this gigantic pumice raft from an underwater volcanic eruption. It makes its way to the barrier reef. So sailors suddenly lost sight of the water surrounding their boat was a floating mass of pumice rock, the result of an underwater volcanic eruption near the Tonga about 2 weeks ago. The Queensland University of Technology Geologist Associate Professor Scott Bryan said it would have been a really eerie experience sailing into the sea of floating rock. So they were no longer seeing water and hearing the scratching of the pumice against the hull. So I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. Let's play that. I haven't even seen this yet, you know, maybe not. You know, here in Missouri, I find this red pumice all over my yard. And then I went and I looked, and one of these days I'm going to do a video on it, but we've been hit with some meteor strikes in Missouri. Oh, now it's going to play. Yeah, I don't want to get tagged on that thing. So yeah, man, big old floating hunk of pumice out here. And you can see it on the satellite data. It's still there. Got a couple articles on this. Let me get rid of these as we go. A raft of rock. So volcanoes have a lot of dramatic ways to announce their presence. thick flumes of ash and streams, rivers and lakes of molten rock, rock falls, earthquakes, even sudden rising of islands above the waterline. Anyway, this is crazy stuff here. So this happened on August 13, 2019. The Landsat 8 acquired the natural color imagery of the vast pumice raft floating in the Pacific Ocean near Leyte Island on the Kingdom of Tonga. The Terra satellite detected the mass floating rock around August 9th. The discolored water around the pumice suggests that the submarine volcano lies somewhere below. By August 13th, the raft had drifted southwest. As of the 22nd, the raft had moved north again and was a little bit more dispersed but visible. Here is the coordinates right now for it. Or the volcanologists at the Smithsonian believe the evidence points to an unnamed submarine volcano near Tonga. The last report of an eruption at this site occurred in 2001. The summit of the seamount is believed to stand about 40 meters, 130 feet below the waterline. So we're seeing volcanic stuff going on everywhere. And we got this, a rare fire cloud looks otherworldly in photos snapped from NASA's flying lab. Remember the flying lab that was flying all over the volcanic, all through California, around Yellowstone. We showed all the flight patterns. They were following all the fault lines when they snapped this photo. This was over Washington State. So yeah, they were picking up a lot of the fire smoke coming out of Russia and Alaska and all the bunker fuel that was being deployed at the time. And we're going to get into some more crazy news, but here we go. Nanotechnology gives mice night vision. Humans could use it and could cure colored blindness. They always got to have the cure. They could also make, weaponry, transhuman and human weapons that can see in the dark. If that's not crazy enough, we have the world's first 3D printed heart and printed hearts, functional beating hearts grown from stem cells. And they always got to sell it. 25 million people suffer from heart failure each year. 2,500 out of the 4,000 people get heart transplants actually receive them. That's almost 50% of the people needing a heart. So, excuse me there. They want to print you one out. At some point, this is this is going to be like the days of Noah where people live for hundreds of years. But they're not going to let that happen. Anyway, just crazy transhumanism news right here. Sure, it could help some people, but you think the people that run the world, they probably already had this technology. I mean, what that one Soros guy's had like 7 or 8 heart transplants already? I don't know. Nothing like that really is good. So here we go. We got this coming out of Australia here. Climate change evacuation planning needs to start now. Scientists urge. This is the fear porn, all this stuff. They're going to, and that's why I do this. They're going to push this weather warfare stuff. So it's going to be like geostorm, but it's all going to be man-made. And I'm telling you, we're going to go into a cooling event with all these fires, all the smoke in the atmosphere, all the volcanic activity that's happened. I mean, the fires that went on this year alone are enough to cool the planet. And they still want to mimic volcanoes. We've had some of the highest blasts in history happen this year. So they want to start preparing for retreat rather than leaving it until it's too late, researchers say. from Bangladesh to the Philippines and low-lying islands of the South Pacific, the impacts of climate change for many people around the world are going to get much worse very soon. Yeah, we heard that from Al Gore. You know, they're going to talk about this sea level rise. Well, if the Arctic has melted, where's the water? How come they're still selling beachfront property? It's all a scam, man. They want everybody in the stack 'em, pack 'em housing in the cities where they can control you. That's what they want. It has nothing to do with the fake global warming scam, because it's going to start getting cold, I'm telling you, with all these particulates in the air. We talked about this yesterday, but the U.S. Army tries to calm residents about an upcoming wave of military drills in North Carolina. Nothing claims the public quite like gunfire in heavy populated areas. Nevertheless, the U.S. Army has plans to do just that starting August 30th and continuing till September 12th in 21 select counties in North Carolina. That's a big time event, 21 counties. While exact locations are not being released, according to the Charlotte Observer, residents following counties should not be alarmed by gunfire. No, shelter in place. Flares and helicopter activity might be witnessed as seen in the video below. You know, this is just like the Jade Helm. This is all part of it. They're planning for civil unrest, and the best way to practice is doing it right in the cities where they're going to be doing it. And we've seen all the crisis actor ads, you know, a month or so ago for this very area. So they've already got the crisis actors in place. They've all been hired. So yeah, so that, you know, they want to evacuate everybody off the coast, and you know, then what are they going to do? So more than half a billion bees dropped dead in Brazil within 3 months. We're seeing this worldwide. You know, they don't tell you. They think what's killing them is the like Roundup or whatever. Let's see here. Where did I see that? Same president that they've been hammering on. Lab research points to pesticides. Fipronil, neonicotinoids, I can't even pronounce that stuff, products banned in Europe. Why didn't they just say Monsanto? Well, they say that's the main cause of the bees dying. How about the bunker fuel? How about aluminum poisoning? I bet if we got these bees tested, they're going to test super high for alumini, because that's what they're killing them with. And you know, while they keep saying everything is high, record highs, we have frosty far north Queensland's the coldest August night in 6 decades. You know, they were saying how this was the hottest year, but we keep coming across all these super cold articles. We had the polar vortex this winter. You know, last winter had the coldest July on record in Texas. Missouri has never hit triple digits this year. Now the humidity makes it feel like we have, but we haven't. It's actually been a mild summer. High humidity, but not that high of temperatures. North natural snow depth in Australia hits the highest in 2 decades. This went on all last year. Remember the Austria got 7 feet of snow in one snowstorm? Remember all the snow last winter? It's going to get much worse. Yeah, that's right. Monsanto's now teamed up with Bayer. They spot bear or they are bear. And then, we got more mainstream fear porn coming out. A giant volcano could end human life on Earth as we know it. And they talk a little bit about Yellowstone. They don't know. It's just all, they got to push this stuff to bring in the NWO. I mean, that's the way they have to do it. They have to scare everybody into believing that they are the problem. They create the problem, then they come up with the reaction, then they come up with the solution. The New World Order is the solution. Total control. So back when the fires were going on in the Saharas, back in 2017, they were linked to Burger King. 1,000,000+ acres of deforestation, man. They're still doing it. I don't even know how I got that article on here. Anyway, it was I remember that. This was another article where the president is bulldozing the Amazon rainforest. This is all going to be fear porn. And I showed you the map at the beginning of the show. What about the fires ignite across Indonesia? This happened 13 hours ago. They got the same thing going on. They're burning people out. They're land grabbing. The oil companies are taking the land. Yeah, here we go. So the mainstream's talking about this, but they're not talking about this. Look at Madagascar. The whole Madagascar is on fire. So yeah, man, that's how they work. They were a month behind on these fires for damn sure. More interesting news. Russia's closed cities hold the secret to the global nuclear disaster. You never heard of it. Well, you've heard of it because we reported on it. The lack of information from the Russian government following the deadly explosion on August 8th has some questioning whether the situation might be worse than thought. So that there's at least 40 cities are closed in Russia. And you know what they do here? If the radiation levels go up, they just, raise the level of the radiation detectors so you don't know. And we're doing some censorship. Google these technology efforts to make the globe available at our fingertips, but they are a number of parties who want prying eyes away. So it's thought there's about 40 closed cities in Russia. Through it's suspected there are others whose very existence is highly classified. So really, we don't know how bad it is over here. We know there was a toxic radioactive flume. So this photo here, the Soviet government didn't acknowledge the East Ural radioactive trace for 32 years. That's why everybody's, getting cancer and all that stuff. You had Chernobyl and all that. So anyway, who knows what's going on over there? We'll probably never know. But it's up in the ozone. Add that with the smoke, add that with the bunker fuel. So all the money that was supposed to go to the farmers, the billions of dollars, are going to the giant multinational agribusinesses and not the family farms. We knew this was coming. And that's what they do. They act like they're helping, but then they don't. We keep reporting on these people getting killed by lightning, animals all across the globe. More tourist falls to death after lightning knocks him off a mountain peak. This is like a daily, I could report on people getting killed by lightning every day. And it's because they've put so many metal particulates up in the sky that it's just it's mind-blowing. So I know there were some channels out here saying this was like a 70% chance of turning into, you know, cyclone, hurricane. But watch this, when we play the loop, remember all the dust is coming in, this baby really fires up. But what happens? The dust is coming in, it's coming in, it's coming in. We got a hurricane. It's gonna form. Oh wait, what's wrong here? It's going away. What happened to the hurricane? Oh, it's dissipating. It's gone. It's gone. See, that's how it works. So yeah, there is no hurricane. Won't be no hurricanes until the wind pattern change. Wow, where'd my like I said, we just got wave after wave after wave of this dust coming until the wind pattern changes in the upper level polar winds. This is well, I can't even call this the polar winds. It's the winds up in the troposphere, the stratosphere. But yeah, man, they're just cleaning the dust out down there, and it's just all headed our way. That's how I got this cough. I've got this cough ever since the first wave of this dust. If you guys go out and check your rain gauges, and I don't even care where you live, this dust's going all across the United States. You're going to find reddish, orangish dust in the bottom of your rain gauges, on your cars. It's everywhere. So, can I bring that back up here? I had a little thing. Man, it probably won't work now. Alright, what I wanted to get to, let's go back to the earth null. I don't know why I closed it. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it one bit. Let's go ahead and check the polar winds. Now this is the winds I'm talking about. All the winds are blowing off the Saharas. And just to give you a scope of this, let's go back to last year so you can see the difference. So here was last year. You can see there was a little bit of winds, but they were up higher north. You know, just a little bit of winds. And of course, you got the polar vortex winds in the southern hemisphere. Let's go back to now. Boom. You have a mass wind anomaly. And what this is doing, this is pushing all the atmospheric river over here. This is where all the hurricane or the cyclones are going to form, because all the atmospheric rivers are being shoved right there from both directions. Every hurricane track that's supposed to go up into the Bajas is getting pushed straight away. It's not going to go there. We've watched it several times now. While I'm here, let me go ahead and check the temperatures. Still got an atmospheric compression going on. See, this thing is going to move. These winds are going to move up to the north. And that's when things are going to get a little tricky. Still a little bit of compression event going on right where the fires and the aerosols and the ship tracks are being deployed. There's a little heating event right here by Hawaii. What's that all about? What is going on with Hawaii? They haven't even had no trade winds this year. And if you missed the very beginning, we got this anomaly that we've been tracking for about a week now that has dissipated overnight. Took 9 days for this to form. You can see it in the temperatures, you can see it in the anomalies, and then just poof, all of a sudden it's going away just overnight. It's like they took a magnifying glass up in space and was heating this little area. Now they got some dirt on the magnifying glass or something. The other mega heat anomalies up here where all the bunker fuels being deployed, which we're gonna take a look at that. Let's go ahead and check the carbon levels, carbon monoxide at the surface if this thing will load. We never did figure out what it is. It's not a volcanic deal. There was no flume to it, no fire, no heat anomaly, no nothing. We don't know what it was. It was just an anomaly. So we got, you know, pretty high levels right here in Southern California. You can see where the little fires are. See the fires all over Russia, fires all over Alaska. Here's the fires down in the rainforest. But look, you got the same damn thing going on over here, probably worse. I mean, you got some mega fires going on over here. And in India, that's just the air quality. Japan, China, that's just the air quality. That's how bad it is. That's why they wear masks. Let's go ahead and check the carbon dioxide. Hey, thanks out there, walking trail. So here's the carbon dioxide, the plant fluid, still lightening up, but this is definitely going to help cause a global cooling event. We just have so many gases and particulates in the air that it's creating a blanket. Yeah, it's going to get warm underneath. It's going to melt some snow, but it's also going to lead to some crazy weather. Anyway, let's check the sulfur dioxide. This is the bunker fuel. Wow, that's a weird anomaly right there. Never noticed that before. What am I talking about? These long straight lines. These are the cargo ships and cruise liners. They're pumping out so much of sulfur that it picks it up on this map. You can see all the shipping lanes. Very toxic. And then here we are. We can see the dust. Here's our wave of dust, our next wave of dust coming. It's been non-stop this year. This may be the global warming event that they're trying to create. Maybe they're trying to put a blanket over the earth. You know, we're already not going to have real blue skies anymore, so let's go ahead and check the PM10s. Yep, pretty thick here. Check the 2.5s. This is particulate matter. It's really, really bad for you. It's carcinogens. You can see a lot of it coming off the fires. Pretty much the whole United States is inundated. Alright, I think we're done with this map for a while. Let's go ahead and check the worldview map. And there's a plate. Oh, I can already see him. What do we got here? We went a couple days without the bunker fuel. And now we got the ships are back. So here are the weather modification ships. This is on purpose. These are not cargo ships whatsoever. These are not cruise liners. These white jiggly jaggly lines that flume out both directions. These are the bunker fuel operations. These are weather controllers, and I don't know why the 3.7. Oh, that's the fire anomalies. I didn't load up the here. Let me add on the 3.7. I do have it. Why isn't it loading? Oh, there we go. So now they'll stand out just a little bit better. So all these little starts at a point and then they drift out. Tons of them right here. That's the bunker fuel operations. That's the most toxic emissions on the planet right here. And they're right here off the Bajas. We had some out here by the fires. Seems like you always see them before the fires. They were definitely out there in mass before the Paradise fires. So it looks like Oregon and Washington are getting completely bombarded again. Synthetic skies. I mean, these are all targeted sprays. Look at this. You think water vapor just turns off and on at the exact same point every time? No, this is ran by AI. We've showed the program that runs the sprayer planes. So mass spraying operation over Washington, man, you guys are getting just smacked down. Look at this dripping. These are the chemtrail orbs that like drip. So yeah, you guys must be getting set up for fire season. Looks like they're spraying the accelerants. Let's look at this in a couple different layers. Wow, look at that, man. Targeted spraying operations all over Oregon, up into Washington, over into Idaho. Look, we do have a fire. We got a fire right here and a sprayer going on. Let's check the layers on this. So, it's not loaded all the way. That sucks. Or maybe, let's see if we can get that to load. There we go. I'm trying to see. I'd probably go back to yesterday, but yeah, definitely a fire right there, right in the spraying operation zone. These are really suspect. These look like the orbs, and then the wind patterns kind of blow them down. So that's some super. We need to watch this Mount Hood area, northeast of Portland. They may be doing something funky right here. Look, here's some more of them. And that's not a, that's definitely not something coming off the mountains, you know. That's not weather coming off the mountains. That's coming from the opposite way. Oh, wow, look at this. Here's another one of the spinal cord sprays. That's a smoke curtain. We call these a smoke curtain. Wonder if I have these smoke curtain footage. Sure I do. Haven't played that in a while. Just type in smoke curtain from 1923 and then you'll know what I'm talking about. So Washington is the target of the mega spraying operation out off the coast. Let's go check Alaska. They've been getting hammered. And I really can't tell right now if that's smoke or aerosols. Everything's pretty well clouded up here. Let's let that clear up a little. Yeah, the layer has it loaded. Like they're not giving us up to date. Oh wow, look at all this spraying operation still in the Bering Strait. Some more heavy aerosols. That means they're probably spraying up over Greenland again too. They're creating the blanket. They're putting the blanket on. Look at these. Same kind of spraying operation over the Davis Strait, over Quebec. Same thing as Oregon and Washington. Same aerosol campaign. Yeah, Greenland's getting hammered all the way around the southern part. So yep, they're still spraying just like they are. They're hijacking the Arctic. That's what they're doing. We have aerosols over New Mexico. Mexico, you know, we got the bunker fuel right here off the coast. We seen yesterday how they were spraying over Redding, California, which we'll check that map here in a little bit. Texas, smackdown, Oklahoma, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indianapolis, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York. And of course, Florida is getting rain again. Louisiana is getting rain. Just like the 16-day forecast called for. Yeah, so heavy aerosols everywhere. I noticed, when they sprayed here in Missouri, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, was the headache spray. Well, they did it again yesterday, and actually am feeling it a little bit right now. Sometimes the spray the pre-spray is what gives you the mega headache. All right, let's just go ahead and look down here. We see the fire smoke, pretty nasty, but the mainstream's not talking about all this fire smoke going on in the Congo. It's actually worse. So interesting. Wow, look how clear Portugal and Spain is. It's probably the clearest day I've seen all year. Trying to get this to load up a little bit. Well, France, you might be in the clear right now, but the next aerosol campaign is coming. See, it's just not loaded. I can't tell if they're being bombarded yet. But look out here off the coast. We got tons of aerosols being deployed. So it was nice to have a good day. UK, you look pretty clear, but not really. There's aerosols out here off the coast over the southern part. Just got to get this to load up a little bit. See the microwaves up here in the northern section of the UK. Netherlands is getting waxed. They always get waxed. Yeah, I got tons of aerosols being deployed all over out here too. See, it's a worldwide situation. In order to pull off the new world order and the climate chaos, they have to manufacture the weather everywhere. Over Romania, they're getting hammered. We know about all the United Arab Emirates weather modification stuff. Russia's, same thing. Let's go check Australia if it'll load. Oh yeah, they're steering some atmospheric river down here, for sure. Aerosols up in the north. We got to check our friends down here in New Zealand too. We find some of the strangest clouds down here in New Zealand, and we know who's doing a lot of the weather modification down here. And somebody's spraying aerosols off the coast of New Zealand. Tons of frequency clouds. Look how Australia is actually pretty clear. Let me put the fire layer on here and see if there's any fires, if it'll load. So yeah, they're definitely pulling the atmospheric river up. Here's where the snow's coming from. I should have got the coordinates of that pumice flow out here. So they're actually not getting like super chemtrail that we can see today, but they have here lately. But they are getting hit with frequencies, radio frequencies, microwave frequencies, few fires up in the north. All right. So let's go ahead and put this on that. We'll get that to load. And what I wanted to show you, if I can reload this page here. Now this worldview link should be in the description. Like down somewhere in the maps I use. And there's tons of stuff you can do with this. I'm going to let this reload so I can show you. It'll probably take a little bit to load. It's not going to load the box. There's a little box I need to load up. Let's see if that helps. Nope. Alright, so what I need to do, let me just close that out. This may buffer the stream a little bit, but let's just try this. We'll do it together. That way you guys can see how to do it. So when you first load up this page, you can go back and look at the Paradise Fires and the signature of the smoke. And they show you different ways that you can detect the fires and satellite imagery and different layers. So I'm going to try to get this to load so we can show you just a couple of the little examples you can do. All right, so here we go. Let me go ahead and click through these different layers so you can kind of see a couple different things here. That's the burn scar map layer. This is the fire up in Alberta. It looked just like the Paradise Fire, but you could do like these timeline comparisons, which is pretty cool. Man, this thing is loading so slow. But anyway, if you click on all this stuff, you can find different layers, and you can learn which layers they are over here. It's a good place to start, like when you're looking for aerosols and all that stuff, the ship tracks and all the different layers. And then you can really, if you got time, you can really experiment on all this stuff. Now here's the smoke. Where was this at? Let me get this to load up good so I can tell where it is. It's taking too long. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Let me go ahead and let this go. We'll turn on a little bit of an enhancer here so we can see it a little better. Whoa, look at the aerosols over Nevada, California. And then as soon as the aerosols hit the mountains, wham, you got a storm. So we didn't even see them on the worldview map. But yeah, that's a big time spraying operation. So you got a spraying operation over Arizona. We're going to have to zoom in on that. That's insane. So yesterday, it was Washington, Oregon, Northern California. And remember, the bunker fuel is just right down here. We should be able to see it on this map. Or at least we'll try to see if we can see it. Let me get where I can scroll this baby by hand. So look at that X, man. That X covers all the way from Paradise, and then it goes all the way up from Oregon all the way down across Nevada. That's a monster X. X marks the spot. Now watch as all the these chemtrails right here. And then they hit the mountain. Look, whoa, we got some kind of weird anomaly right here and here. What is that? It's going the opposite way. What is this big flume right here? All right, we got some weird stuff going on. I need to maybe look at the heat anomalies. All right, let me get back to this. We got this mass spraying operation. Got a small one down there. But watch, when the chemtrails hit the mountains, here's a perfect example of man-made clouds causing rain. If there was no plains right here, there would be no clouds. Now watch, when this stuff hits the mountains, it turns into a system, a rain system. So there you go. There's a man-made storm, 100% documented right here. All man-made. But I really want to know what this is. Is that a contrail? Is that a plane flying the opposite direction? But then you get this big burst of, you know, ocean layer, whatever, fog, whatever that is. And there's a weird dry line in there or something. That's some weird stuff going on. Man, we're seeing some weird stuff right here. Let me put this on the microphysics. So hang on here. Let's see if we can pick something else up out of this. Oh, wow. Look at the frequency lines in there. So we got some, oh yeah, look, we can see the bunker fuel ships down here. Look at all the bunker fuel being deployed. The dark lines, that's the chemtrails. But you see the wider lines. If you can see that, I don't know if it's coming in clear enough on YouTube until the video processes, but that's crazy right there. Just got to get this to load up all the way. Got a weird anomaly right here too. Weird one right there. So here's a perfect example of man creating a rain system with the plains. It's undeniable. And also showing the bunker fuel operations. Let's expand this out a little bit. Let's go. Let's just get this, the whole operation over here. All right, this is going to be pretty damning evidence of the bunker fuel operations and some kind of weird stuff going on out here. So anyway, we gotta let this load. Yeah, I'm definitely getting the chemtrail headache is definitely picking up as the show goes. They're probably got the microwave weaponry above my house, just beaming it down here, trying to get me to shut up. Man, that's a massive bunker fuel operation right there. That's just massive. Like, you could probably count a lot of ships right there. I mean, that's a lot. All right, trying to get this to so the storm is that spinning the wrong way? Spinning counterclockwise. That's an odd, that's really odd for it to spin like that in that part of the above Hawaii. That is weird. All right, so we definitely have them busted right here. Completely busted with the bunker fuel. Busted with the man-made clouds. check one more thing. And we got like mega interference on this layer. Wow, what'd they do to this? They must not want us to see it. What are you hiding here? It's like freaking my eyeballs out. Wow, man, we're just missing all kinds of data on that. Look, it just took out like hours of data. Yeah, biggers. Now I want to check for hot spots here. We'll check one more thing. Because we did see them weird little spots out there that I don't know what they were. We'll give this a second to load. Actually, it's probably going to take like a minute. Oh man, you can definitely see them guys. Wow, this is missing the data too, I think. I don't know. It jumped. Let's see if it loads up. Let me just give it a second while we're waiting on that to load. Thanks everybody out there that helps us. Make sure you subscribe to the backup channel. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels that we got. Just in case, man, YouTube is really screwing stuff up. They're going to be taking away the messaging system. They're going to screw with our thumbnails, probably where we can't even make our own thumbnails. They're taking away the beta, forcing us into using the new platform that sucks. They're unsubscribing people faster than they can subscribe, unless you're PewDiePie, dude, man. Then you're getting like 10 million subscribers. But for us, it's going to go backwards. Anyway, thanks out there, Cynthia. Thanks to everybody that shared. If it wasn't for you guys sharing, we wouldn't even be where we are now with this channel. So it's all been on you guys. Yeah, complete man-made stuff right there, boy. Whew. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and call this a show. Much love out there. No fear, man. We got to see through the fear and see the lies. Anyway, guys, armor up in any way you can. And much love. We'll see you tomorrow night, God willing. We're going to play a song called Rise, because we'll have to rise up eventually. There won't be no sitting down on your couch any longer. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Let me see if I can mute the mic out, and we'll hit the exit songs. Much love out there.